Eugene, thank you so much. All right, the coffee table in your family room, is it cluttered with magazines and remote controls? Your coffee table could make a big statement when guests enter the room, and it just takes a few simple steps. Here to help this morning is designer Traci Zeller. Traci, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me, Colleen.
You told me that this is one of the questions that you get the most often is, what do I do with my coffee table?
It really is, and that's because the room we use the most is our living room or our family room. And we've got these two big pieces of furniture, a sofa and a coffee table, and the coffee table is the one you see first, and it seems to collect remotes and magazines and all that junk of a room that gets used. But the good news is there's a way to keep it stylish.
Okay, let's keep it stylish. You say really, and you're not talking over the top and expensive. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. And I should mention that you are a mom of 2 boys, and you know it needs to be functional as well.
That's exactly right. I say the best and most functional coffee tables are those that fit feet, food, and fannies, because that's what we use them for, right? Yeah. But again, we can manage that and still add some style.
Okay.
And one of the ways I do that is, as you can see here, I've divided the coffee table visually in half. Most rectangular coffee tables lend themselves to that, but if you have a large square, you can think of it in quadrants, in fourths, and then you decorate each of those separately. You don't have to fill all of the space in that quadrant, but you decorate each section.
Okay, can you kind of explain what you've done here and how you've divided it?
That's right. I divided in half. This rectangular lends itself to each side. So what I did first was to decorate each side. And I created, my second step is creating a base layer, which I often do with a tray, because everything looks neater when it's gathered in a tray.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? I like the look of a tray on a coffee table.
It does. And I love a big tray, but it doesn't have to be. We could have a tray on half of it, but that way it just gathers all of your items together and makes it feel purposeful.
Okay, I want everyone to remember this. So you create quadrants, you add a base layer.
That's right.
All right.
And the next step is to layer in coffee table books, because there's a reason they're called that. They're for coffee tables. And some people think it's a little trite, but there are books out there that speak to every interest under the sun. So whether you love travel or art or music, look for books that speak to you. And of course, as a designer, I happen to like it if they color coordinate with the room, but that's just a bonus. And my one super secret trick that people don't think about is to remove the dust jacket, because oftentimes the spine underneath is either a solid color or a really beautiful pattern, and that adds some extra flair to your coffee table.
Okay. All right. I noticed you did color coordinate your books. It's a very nice touch.
Well, I did, because I know the set is blue and red, so I needed it. Would have been terrible if I added orange.
Okay, right. And then next step, you say add something fresh or decorative objects, both.
Right.
Okay.
Something fresh is usually my last finishing touch, but it's important to have decorative objects that speak to your personality and who you are, and it's an extra bonus if there's something that's functional or sculptural. So that could be anything from a box or a candle that I use just because it's relaxing. Here I have a magnifying glass, because the handle is so pretty, but even when my kids were small, it was something that doesn't really get broken, but they loved to explore with it.
Oh, see, that's cute.
They loved it.
Okay, so your decorative objects, and you can keep those to a minimum. You're not talking about cluttering it with stuff.
No, I don't want to clutter it, because we still need to have room for a coffee cup, or if you like to prop your feet, or like I said, your fanny when you're talking to somebody, you need room. So make sure there's space to breathe.
Okay, and lastly, something fresh.
That's right. Fresh, natural elements always make a home feel good. So I literally went in my yard this morning and cut these hydrangeas. This is the time of the year when so much beautiful stuff is blooming. So you can easily get something from your backyard, and if you can't, how about a small potted plant, an orchid, also adds a little bit of height. Anything like that really brings the outdoors in and gives you that natural feel to your room.
It's beautiful. I'll never look at coffee tables in quite the same way, Traci.
Quadrants.
Quadrants, I got it. TraciZeller.com is Traci's website. That's T-R-A-C-I, TraciZeller.com. She can help you. You're great at your job. You're great at what you do.
Thank you so much for having me, Colleen.
It's a pleasure, as always. All right, still